Hi, John Wendell with John Wendell Real Estate, and I want to thank you for clicking on my link to learn more about my listing presentation. I love doing these and I love talking to home buyers because it's an exciting time when it comes to selling one of your biggest assets out there. So I want to walk you through the process. So if you would like me to come out and talk more, then we almost feel like we know each other at that point. So what I want to do is the first things I do when I come into people's homes is I set my information down and we do a quick tour of your property. You know, there's three things that make a property sell quickly, and that's if it's priced correctly, if it's marketed correctly, and the condition of the home. And so I'm looking at the condition of the home when we first walk through. And I know that if you just came home from work, it's not going to be perfect and all the lights are on. But what I'm looking for is any updates that you've done over the years since you purchased the home. You know, it's bathrooms, if they've been updated, if the kitchen's been updated, backsplashes, if there's new carpet, if there's new woods in it. All this adds to value of the house. You know, when people are looking online for a home to buy, they're going on, it's almost like a dating site, and they're looking at a house and you basically have 2 to 3 seconds to make an impression. Going on Pinterest, they want everything to be a turnkey house, most of them do, and they want not to be able to get in a house and not have to do a lot of work on it, and it's updated. So again, I'm looking at the light fixtures, I'm looking at the carpeting, I'm looking at the flooring, I'm smelling the house to see if there's any odors that are going to annoy people when they come in, and we're going to have feedback on there. As I'm walking through the house, I'm also asking you, what is your motivation? Why are you selling your house at this point? I do know that's a seller's market, and so, you should do really well on the sale of your house, but what is the true motivation? Is it because the house is too big now that you're empty nesters and you want less bedrooms? Are you moving because of a job transfer? Or did you have more kids and you need more bedrooms? It could go either way. And so I'm just trying to figure out what marketing we need to do and who do we need to approach to purchase your home, which would give me a great idea as far as how to market it on that. So after the tour, we go back and we're going to sit down, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out the packet that I brought over to you. I am a Keller Williams agent, and so I am a listing specialist with Keller Williams, if you can see that right there. And so I have just not a ton of information in here, but the information I think is important. You're going to get one of the books that I've written on here. I have a Consider It Sold book, a complete guide to selling your home, and that does cover the 3 aspects which I kind of hit on before: marketing your home correctly, pricing it correctly, and the condition of the home. If you're a for sale by owner and you're interested in getting some more information, a guide on how to sell your home for sale by owner. And then also, if you were trying to sell your home and for some reason it expired and didn't sell in a quick way, then I do have a book right here that is a Consider It Sold, another edition, which is expired listings on here. So I will leave this with you. There's no cost to the books on here. It's just I always like to give people information to help you as much as possible in the sale of your house. I also bring you a packet on marketing of your home. And so there's a lot of agents out there. They have a 3-prong marketing plan that they like to use, and it's called put a sign in your yard, put it on the MLS, and pray that it sells. A lot of agents out there are getting spoiled because they feel like, hey, if I just put it out there, don't spend any money, it's going to sell anyway. We're going to wait for buyers agents to bring their clients on. And I don't operate that way. I want to be proactive and make sure that this house has the most eyeballs out there. So I have an 83-point marketing plan that we go over with you. Some of that has to do with old school. We take your neighborhood and we drop 300 postcards in that neighborhood to all your neighbors. And you're going, well, good Lord, I don't want my neighbors to know what's going on with my house and my private business. A lot of your neighbors know somebody that wants to move into the neighborhood. Why not put that house in front of them so they could tell them and say, hey, look, we got a house coming up on the market. Also, Facebook is such a huge way of selling homes right now. We do put it on the MLS. We do have it on Zillow and Trulia and Realtor.com. But when we put your house on the market, when we build advertising around it, and we push it out at $75 a day advertising cost to get as many eyeballs out there, we were able to pull in so many more people into your home. And that's also including open houses. We try to put a house on the market on Thursdays, and then we have a first open house on Sundays, not Saturdays, because in this area with kid activities, we don't have enough pool on Saturdays because they're too busy. And so really what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make sure that we get enough people so quick that your house doesn't go stale on the market, and then we're able to sell it quickly and for top dollar. And I think that's what you want. So once we go through the tour, we're sitting down, I'm going over my marketing plan with you in my book. And by the way, if you would like to see these before, you just email me or give me a call, and I will email you over a PDF of both of them, and you could read it at your own leisure on here. So when we sit down, we just talk about everything. Now, what I also do is I run comps, okay? And so it's called a CDA, which you might have heard it before, and you might not have. So if you haven't sold a house in a while, what is a CDA? It's a comparative marketing analysis. And what we do is we take all the houses that have sold in the last year in your neighborhood or surrounding area, okay? And this is what the report looks like. And so if you have a one-story house, I pull just one-story houses a quarter mile around your house. And if you have a 3-bedroom, I look for 3 bedrooms that kind of size up to it. If you have a 4-bedroom, same thing on here. If you have a pool, if you have a 3-car garage, how big your lot is. I try to find comparative houses that are either active on the market, okay, in the last 90 days. If they're under contract right now, I also pull those. I pull ones that have also expired. I'd like to see what they were doing as far as testing the market and seeing why they expired. Pending houses, the ones that are under contract right now and are about to go into sold status. And then I also pull the ones that are sold, the ones that really mean the most to us, because everybody has an idea how much their house is worth, okay? They've gone on Zillow and seen a Zestimate of it, and they go, good Lord, I didn't know I could get that much for my house. And then they've also heard that their neighbor's house sold really quick, and they're just going by what the neighbor has told them is how much the house sold for. And you're thinking, well, you know what? My house is so much better than theirs. You know, theirs was kind of, last time I was in there, it smelled bad and it wasn't dated, so, or it wasn't updated. So our house should sell for a lot more. So a lot of the times the market price on a house is a moving target, but really in the end, who sets the price on your home are buyers and the market. And right now we have an upswing in the market right now. COVID has caused people to really go out and they want a bigger home because they're spending more time with it. I say most of them want a bigger home, some want a smaller home, but they're looking at pools on here and they're looking at more land. And those houses are going very, very quick and most of the time in multiple offer situation. So what I do is I sit down with this, and the first time I ever saw a report on this right here, okay, my eyes kind of rolled up in my head because it's several pages that I flipped through, and I don't expect you to see this right now, especially with the lighting, but I just want to show you that I hate looking at this form right here, okay? So what I do is I've taken this and I put it onto a one-page sheet, which is so much easier to look at, and it's color coded. As you can see at the very top on here, you'll have the property address, how many bedrooms, square footage, and then you'll also have a line up there that's blue. And what that is I pull up the tax roll on your house, okay, and I look to see what the county believes that your house is worth as far as what they charge you on taxes. And then I take your square footage and then I divide that amount divided by the square footage, and it comes with a price per square foot, okay? On this particular house, it would mean that it was $135.39 a square foot is what the county thinks your house is worth. And then I start stair-stepping it up. I go to 136 a square foot, 136.5, 137, 137.5. I go all the way up. And as you can see on here, I pulled all the comps in that neighborhood around your house. And so dark green means that your house is going to sell quickly in this area, okay? Every time I go up price per square foot also means that your dollar value goes up on your house. And then around number 9, it turns into light green, okay? Light green means that your house is probably still could sell, okay, especially in this market, but it might take a little bit longer to get that house sold. And then the last section is red. Now, red means that no other house is sold for this price in the neighborhood. I know that you would like to get that much for your house, but I'm just letting you know that if it's in red right now, probably you're going to have to sell this house to 3 different people. You're going to have to sell it to the buyer's agent, you're gonna have to sell it to the lender, their lender, and you're gonna have to sell it to the appraiser, okay? And if the appraiser says that the house is worth only this amount of money, then the lender is only gonna give them that much money also. So I let you look at these sheets on here, and I do not have the final say on what your house is worth. I leave that up to you. I just have you look at it as an educated buyer and say, okay, here's the other houses that have sold in this neighborhood. This is the pricing. It's in dark green or light green. Let's go test it really quick. And if you don't have any showings and you don't have any offers within the first week, well, then we need to go back and look at that pricing. Because if the condition of your home is right spot on compared to all the other ones in the neighborhood, then its only other thing is it hasn't been marketed correctly on my end, which I know it's going to happen. And then it's also hadn't been priced correctly. So we do a pricing adjustment, or at least talk about it at this point. The last thing I want you to do is have your house sit there and sit there and sit there. And then people think, okay, something's wrong with that house. There has to be something wrong with the house. And so they're going to start giving you lowball offers on here. So I have condition of the home that we've talked about originally as we did the walkthrough of the house. And then I'm going to give you some suggestions if I have any. And that could be staging of the house. You might have too much furniture in the house at this point that you've been gifted by different relatives, and it's beautiful, but it makes the house look smaller. So staging doesn't mean getting rid of all your furniture. It could mean that we just weed some of it out and put it into the garage right now to make it look bigger. It could be that we need to move some furniture around possibly. It could be that you're a hunter and you have a lot of game mounts up, and so we want to take those game mounts down. A lot of people don't like hunting, and so I want them to be able to see themselves in this house. And we'll take those mounts and we'll put them in your new house that you're moving to. I had a client that had a deerskin rug out there, and I was like, hey, it's really pretty underneath that table, but we need to get rid of that also and just roll it up and keep it in the garage or put it in storage. It could also mean that if the house is empty, the more expensive the home and the bigger they are, it just looks totally uninviting. So what I like to do is bring some furniture in. I have a staging company that can bring in some contemporary furniture, and it's in there until we sell the house. And the pictures look absolutely beautiful when these things are staged, but they usually don't want people living in the house with staged furniture just because there could be accidents, stuff spilled on it, animals, messing it up. And so that's always an option that we talk about on there too. So we have staging as far as condition of the home. If you have any contractors that you need as far as painting that goes before we put the house on the market, if we need to have a roofer come out and look at it, I have the experience and the contractors that could come out and look at your house and give you a bid up front. And we can either fix it up front, or we could say, hey, we could take this much off the price of the house. Again, most buyers want a turnkey house. They do not want to have to come in and mess with stuff after they move in. And so we need to talk about that. The marketing, we're going to do a heck of a lot of marketing on your house to get it done really quick. Again, it's about building ads on Facebook, having it on over 100 websites out there, including the MLS, Realtor.com, Zillow, Trulia. And then we also have the pricing correctly. On the pricing, again, I look at all the comps over the last 90 days. If there haven't been enough, then I go up to 200 days and 365 days. If there's not enough comps in your neighborhood, I push it out to a half a mile. And so I have enough data where I can sit down with you and talk to you, where you feel confident enough that we priced the house correctly, and we're not just leaving money on the table because we just didn't price it expensive enough on here for you. So really, that's kind of my listing appointment on here. I have the marketing material that I can send you prior to the appointment, including my books. And then when I sit down with you, we're really just talking about your motivations, how fast do you want to move, talking about financing on your house as far as options go, whether it be cash, conventional, FHA, VA, and just kind of schooling you on those options when they do come up when we have a multiple offer situation on your house. And again, multiple offer situation, we can sit down. You will always be in the driver's seat on which offer you would like to take. I do not tell you, hey, you need to do this. It's not my house. Okay, so you have the last say so on it. And really, that's kind of it right there. It's a simple process, but again, it's emotional for a lot of people because it is their home. This is where they raise their kids. They've been there a long time. There's deeper feelings than just a square box that people live in, and I totally understand that. So if you have any questions, you can give me a call. Again, my name is John Wendell. My cell phone number is 972-841-9065, or you could find me on Facebook too. I'd be happy to talk to you either way by just sending a message. If you have any questions, let me know, and have a fantastic day.